Building for the future. Building with a purpose. One of the promises made by the Honourable Kamala Persad-Bissessar, Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago when she took office, was to revolutionise the delivery of proper healthcare for all citizens.
Represents really a flagship project for us. I've always said that my administration, my government will not be marked by high-rise buildings. That will be one that will be people-centered. That will be one that will build hospitals. It will be one that will build schools. It will be one that will put down the infrastructure needed to open up the entire country.
Inadequate healthcare facilities, compounded by acute overcrowding, lack of bed space, and aged infrastructure were some of the challenges faced by patients seeking care at the San Fernando General Hospital. Part of the Urban Development Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago's mandate is to deliver health facilities and provide state-of-the-art infrastructure for our nation's health professionals in order that they may administer first-world primary healthcare to each and every citizen. After a site visit on August 23, 2011 by the Honourable Prime Minister, the Minister of Housing and Urban Development and Udecott, a feasibility study was undertaken, and Udecott was tasked with ensuring the then Chancery Lane Administrative Complex be repurposed to become a teaching hospital. Located right next to the overcrowded 59-year-old San Fernando General Hospital, this new teaching hospital would upgrade healthcare delivery for over 600,000 citizens. Key to the success of the project was to retrofit the building from a former office tower to a state-of-the-art medical facility.
The San Fernando Teaching Hospital was originally conceptualized as an office or commercial space. When the decision was taken to convert the building into a hospital, it was nothing but a shell and core, an empty space. As such, intensive evaluation processes had to be undertaken to determine what detail level of construction was essential or key for this retrofit. Udecott now, as the project developers, had to ensure full cooperation from all the contractors, subcontractors and consultants for successful, seamless delivery of this project.
This is yet another example of the care and effort we are taking, not only to build and provide much needed facilities for citizens, but to maximize the value of this spending to better position our citizens for our continuing development.
In order to facilitate the seamless delivery between the San Fernando General Hospital and the teaching hospital in the heart of San Fernando, an innovative piece of engineering called the Bridge Link literally bridges the two facilities.
The building is a complex of different size, different types, heights, widths, buildings, which they are contiguous, they are connected, but for seismic performance, a satisfactory, predictable seismic performance, they need to be separated with a joint. The original building, having been designed for office towers, required a lower level of seismic safety compared to an essential facility like a hospital, which has to remain operational soon after a major event. So it was a challenge to examine this building, retrofit it for the specified use now of essential health facility. The building is connected to the existing San Fernando General Hospital through this bridge that I'm standing on, and the bridge is essentially a separate structure, but it must withstand earthquakes. We have used the American Society of Civil Engineers Code of Practice, the International Building Code, which relies on the American Society of Civil Engineers Standard 7. We have used the latest, which came out in the year 2010. It is internationally respected. We have gone one step further, which is not the norm in many buildings, is to attempt to get all the MEP equipment carefully strengthened, restrained, so that they don't move around in the event of a seismic event.
The lessons learned in this retrofitting has facilitated a better understanding of what will be needed when it comes to building and outfitting the other health facilities already on the cards and in development, like the Couva Children's Hospital, the National Oncology Centre at Mount Hope, Penal Hospital and Rehab Centre, the Arima and Point Fortin hospitals. As we ascend to the 4th, 5th and 6th floors, we arrive to the modern outpatient facilities.
There were 17 international, American and British standards that we met and exceeded in some cases due to the medical equipment that was placed in this hospital. You will notice that there's a sky bridge that connects the old hospital to the new hospital. That is like the umbilical cord from one hospital to the next. So that if they're in the outpatients clinics and it's a pregnant mother and she wants to know where she's going to, she will have access via an escalator system or an elevator system to be able to get on to level 4, which houses both the pediatric outpatient clinics and the neonatal and mother and child clinics. From there, she'll be able to clock in, speak to a nurse in charge, be able to speak to the clerks, ask them any information that she requests, and they will be informed and able to answer her questions, putting her, the patient, and the citizen of Trinidad and Tobago at ease. That was one of the key features here. Level 6 is the outpatient clinics for both medical and surgical. Housed also on this is dietetics and physiotherapy, which will enable for patients on the outpatient sides, if the doctor needs for them to see this physiotherapist, the physiotherapist is on call.
The X-ray room that forms part of this facility is the first of its kind in Trinidad and Tobago and in the region. International experts from the States were flown in to conduct and inspect the installation to ensure that we exceeded the international codes for this facility. Every part that makes up this X-ray room is specially built for it. So the frames, the door frames are lead lined. The doors are lead lined. There's lead in the floor. There's lead in the walls. In the glass, there's a certain amount of lead content. The ceilings have lead. So even the surfaces that penetrate any of the walls or the ceiling, they too are covered in lead to ensure that no rays can permeate and go on the outside and affect anybody.
Very important was the design and build-out of Level 8, which was open space transformed into 25,000 square feet of office accommodation for the administrative departments of the SWRHA. The brand new 216-bed facility brings the total bed count to 866 across both medical facilities, with new pediatric and adult wards, alleviating some of the cramped accommodations experienced at the San Fernando General Hospital.
Now, through a brand new state-of-the-art bed lift system, which connects the outpatient clinics to the wards. This goes all the way from level 8 all the way through to level 17. Level 9 is the pediatric medical wards. This is close to everyone's hearts. From there, if the doctor decides that they're going to move on to the wards, we're dealing with pediatric patients. So the ergonomic design of the building, everything from the color of the floors, to the colors on the walls, to the height of the door handles. The first thing you will meet is your information system, where the doctors will be able to clock you into the floors and move you through onto the ward system. Their capabilities is everything from assisted cots, assisted baths. These baths are self-cleaning, antibacterial baths. This bath will enable the doctors and nurses to be able to treat such disorders as skin diseases, psoriasis, all the way through to asthma. When we move on from that journey, we come into the neonatal rooms. These rooms have specially designed cots that enable the doctor to get access to the child on either side. But what is unique about these wards is that mothers and fathers are able to stay and comfort their children. So there's 5 feet between each patient and they're separated by medical screens. So if there is a need for privacy for any reason that the doctor may need, or mother may need, or father may need, they're able to pull the medical blinds to create a sense of personal space for their patients. All the beds in this hospital are electronic beds with battery backup systems. We are now able to use these beds to lift the patients, lift them into seated positions, lift their legs into seated positions, and move them forward and around the wards. If needs be, we can carry them. If they need an x-ray, we can take them on their same beds, giving them a sense of comfort, all the way down to level 5 to the x-rays, and bring them straight back via the new bed lift system back onto their wards.
This teaching hospital will truly bring to the forefront the advancement of the latest medical teaching techniques to train our future health professionals. They will have access to a transformed mentorship and practical on-the-job training.
We trained over 250 medical members of staff, from doctors, nurses, porters, cleaners, and biomedical engineers. Our job was to ensure that the doctors and nurses who will be using this health facility were up to par and understanding every aspect of both the functionality of this hospital and also the design and use of this hospital, and to help them take ownership of this new and beautiful international facility.
The San Fernando Teaching Hospital, lecture halls, classroom and library facilities, all equipped with the latest modern IT and communications equipment, facilitate a seamless learning experience. This project was diligently executed by contractors and workers from at least 7 different countries, working hand in hand. Of the total complement of workers at the site, 95% were locals, which at the peak of construction numbered as many as 500. Udecott led the transformation, and the Austrians brought their expertise. And when the Mexicans were installing the cone elevators, or the technicians from the Czech Republic were installing furniture and hospital-grade vinyl, which trap and kill bacteria, mold, and other pathogens, or medical-grade ceiling tiles to absorb dust particles, and the Germans from ISM Berlin were installing the doors. Local crews worked in tandem, receiving training every step of the way. And as an equal opportunity employer, Udecott ensured that women also worked in fields such as welding, gypsum installation, safety officers, and fire watch or prevention.
It is always rewarding to see hard work come to fruition, knowing that bold objectives can be achieved even though you are faced with great challenges. I am pleased to report to the construction sector that this government-to-government arrangement saw approximately 95% local input and labor. And as Nelson Mandela said, I've walked that long road to freedom. I've tried not to falter, but I've discovered the secret that after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. And today we are happy to say this one is signed, sealed, and delivered. Thank you so much.
Today is a landmark day for the people served by the SWRHA. The San Fernando Teaching Hospital will provide an additional 216 beds, which will house inpatients in adult medicine and pediatrics, as well as outpatient clinics in maternity, childcare, adult medicine, and surgery. Today, I breathe a sigh of relief as I can finally say that overcrowding will soon be a thing of the past.
That we have just completed the physical part of the relationship, and the Ministry of Health will now take over to develop the emotional part of the relationship with our patients and the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And as you walk around it and you see it for yourself, you notice that there is nothing in the private sector as nice as this.
The handover of this world-class hospital represents for us a triumph of the human spirit. Today is really a testimony of our creativity and our productivity as a nation. And this took an enormous amount of work, an enormous amount. To finish this project in 18 months is really a great triumph for the government of Trinidad and Tobago. I remarked earlier that it was not since 1983 when the late George Michael Chambers commissioned the Eric Williams Medical Complex. This is the first hospital we will open in Trinidad in one generation.
I think all of us in Trinidad and Tobago have a beautiful jewel in this fantastic facility. I just thank everyone who has made this possible. So here we are today, and as other members have said before, it is a signal leap forward in medicine, in academic medicine as well as in the practice of medicine in our land. It signals our determination to build on our progress with the collaboration that is taking place across disciplines and institutions in Trinidad and Tobago for the advancement of healthcare. Today, as I formally commission this hospital, as I thank everyone for putting their hands to the wheel to make it happen in a short 18 months, I ask you, let us all put our hands to the wheel in the fight against crime. I thank you. May God continue to bless each and every one of you, and may God continue to bless our very great nation, Trinidad and Tobago. I thank you.
This new teaching hospital will provide a modern and more conducive environment for the efficient and timely delivery of crucial healthcare. This, along with Udecott's other projects, will deliver on our promise. Building for the future, building with a purpose. Services start at the San Fernando Teaching Hospital Outpatient Clinic, February 2014.